So material advantage is something very easy to understand and learn. But there is in chess, by now all of you would have come across positions where having some extra material in certain position doesn't help. Okay, so there are many types of many positions. So let us understand. So anyway, I think you have got a rough understanding of it. Now we will learn it formally. Okay, you would have learned that sometimes having an extra material still doesn't help. Okay, so now why that is there? Because there is a positional. Yeah.
I joined. So can you repeat what happened?
Nothing much has happened. I've just started, so don't worry. Okay.
Yes,
Just
sir.
all right. So okay, Anirudh, I'm getting some noise. Okay, so please
So can you hear me?
let me. I think I will mute everybody. Okay, because I'm getting some background noise. So let me go to thing and mute all. And yep, now it is. Everybody is muted. So now please use only the chat window. Okay, whatever is your question. So yeah, so Anirudh is saying that he's doing the Stappen method chess. Yeah, the daily chess problems, everyday 8 chess problems. That is very good. Anirudh, if you are doing, Anup might also be doing, some more folks might be doing. So I think it is very good. Every day if you do it, and it is like a good routine, 8 problems to be solved in increasing order of difficulty, right? Very well. Cool. So let's get started. See, I think you see the position on the screen, right? Already, if you see, it's a very extreme position. You can see black has got 2 pawns and a whole rook extra. Okay, and white has got only 3 pawns. So 3 versus 8. Obviously, black is materially much more ahead, but this is not helping him. Can you see it? The entire rook extra is not helping, because this is a position where the rook is not able to do anything. It is not able to come out, and if it tries to come out, it will get killed, right? So no matter who is to play, whether it is white to play, black to play, it doesn't really not matter too much. Okay, even if you give the move to black, it doesn't. Yeah, the rook is trapped, right? So doesn't matter, right? I mean, in fact, white has got a slight advantage here actually, and if he plays properly, he can win. Okay, because the black king will be driven back. See, the rook and the pawns are immobile. Rook cannot play, so the black king will be forced to make some moves and allow the white king to come in, and finally, I mean, either the rook will have to sacrifice itself on b5, or black king will go and white king will finally reach b6 square and then kill the pawn. Not pawn, kill the rook, and obviously after that it is very simple, right? So once he kills the rook, then the other pawns will also fall, and it is going to be a win, right? We are not going to play this out, because all of you, I think, by now you can just imagine this and understand that it will be a win for white, right? But this is illustrating that there is something called as a I mean, depending on the position, it can vary. So just counting the material doesn't help you. Okay. Now, one very drastic example. Next one is when the pawn can queen, right? So pawn. That's why any pawn, if it is advanced pawn on 6th rank or 7th rank, from whichever side, if you look at it, from black side, when it's 6th means it has come to the 3rd row or the 2nd row. Like here, it has come to the 2nd row, 1 step away from queening, right? So those positions are again, they are not very simple to think, because the pawn has got such a potential that with 1 or 2 steps, it can become a queen, whole queen. So the entire balance, material balance obviously changes. Okay. So actually in this position, it is still, because the pawn is on the, what do you call, on the d file, and white king is, yeah, actually the pawn is on the d file and the queen is well placed. So queen will actually force a win here. Okay. But if the pawn was not on the d file, if it was on any of the files, A, C, F or H, with the protection of the king, okay, A and H are the rook files and C and F are the bishop files. On that, if the pawn is there on the 7th rank, even the queen, extra queen also doesn't help. Okay. And we will see this very quickly so that you understand this. Okay, let me board editor. Okay, let me go here and clear the board. let us see what happens if the pawn is on the C file, not white pawn. Let's take the black pawn on the C file, and black king is wherever he is. Suppose he's here. Okay, and white queen, let's put him here, and white king, let's put him somewhere here. Okay, and it is white to play. Okay, so continue analysis board. All right, so what do you think? This is white to play. Black is one step away from queening. What will happen? We'll see the most, but just assess it and tell me what will happen. Will it be a draw or white will win? Yeah, Anup is saying it's a draw. Avnish is saying it's a white will win. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, the king is on d2, c2. I've kept it. Okay, many people think that it's a draw, and I hope actually we know it. I think from our level 2 or this one. So it is a draw actually. And why it is a draw? Do you know? Do you know why it is a draw? Yeah, the king at crucial moment. See, what the general technique is that you will want to give the check and force the king to go in front of the pawn. And when the king goes and blocks its own pawn, that time you will get a move. You will get a move with the king. Okay, but what will happen? Let us see here. Uh, in this check, basically, when you are giving, black king will go here. Now you will give a check like this. Okay, and black king will come here. Now when you give a check like this, because ideally what you want is the black king should go to c1. Black king goes to c1, then momentarily the pawn cannot advance, and then white king will get one move to come closer. Then again you will give a set of checks. Again, finally you will push the king in front of the pawn, and again you will get one extra move. Again you will bring the king by closer by one more step, and finally when the white king arrives closer, then you will be able to give a checkmate. But here what happens is black king does not need to go in front of the c pawn. Black king can afford to abandon the c pawn and go to a1. Why? Obviously it's a stalemate, right? So queen cannot take this pawn and give a stalemate, right? So what will you do? So, and you have to prevent the pawn from queening also. So what will you do? You can, if you give a check, again the king will come here. Give a check again, king will come here. You cannot make progress. If you come here again, it is a thing. So there is no way for you to, you don't get that extra move to bring your king closer and give finally checkmate. So that is what happens with respect to the bishop files. And then rook files also, what happens is that because the king itself doesn't get a move to come out, similar, I mean, there you don't kill the pawn, but the black king is blocking the pawn, and then it's running out of any move. So that's why it is a stalemate. Here is the stalemate happens after you kill the pawn. In case of rook files, it happens when the pawn is not yet killed, but you still get a stalemate. Okay. So yeah, you will. So it will be a draw, correct? So that is what is the reason. But okay, we'll go back now to the beginning, and if the pawn is not a thing, so let's go back to board editor and clear board. But now if the pawn is on one of the other files, D, E, G or B files, not this one, black pawn here, then the standard what do you call, not this, black king is here, white queen is, let us say, here somewhere, and white king is somewhere here, let us put him. But in such positions, if you continue, then obviously there is a very simple win. Simple win is, there is a clean win. What you will do is you will give a check, you will push the king in front of the pawn basically, right? Yeah, so even if you go wherever it is, if you go here, then you will give a check, you will come here, then you will give a check, and then now you will be forced to go in front of the pawn, right? Because you can't go away from the pawn, then the pawn will simply get killed. There is no stalemate. So King will go in front of the pawn. The moment king goes in front of the pawn, you bring in your thing. Then again it will start. The king will go here now. Again, you will have to start by giving a check. And he will go, maybe he will go here. Yeah, he cannot go here, right? So he will go here. Then now again, you'll get a move. So this way you can win it, okay? So, but again, so you got the idea. So on certain files, the pawn, just being a pawn also on the 7th rank, it will still give you a draw, right? So very important to note. Right, so that is why that's how the positional advantage. Now the next position, you see, it is like 2 rooks are there. Black has got 2 rooks. One of them is pinned. White has got only a bishop. Okay, what is the outcome of this game? If black to move, it's a draw. What if it is white to move? No, Amudu, I'm not sure which one are you referring to. Are you referring to the previous question or thing? The second position. Now we are no longer thing. Okay, black to move, then a draw, and white to move. Actually, see, white is never going to win, right? He has got a rook against 2 bishops, so there is no question of white is winning. But the position is such that no matter what you call, no matter what, irrespective of who is to play, okay, the game is drawn. There is no way for black to even sacrifice 1 rook and win, right? What happens is, what is the strategy? Let's give the move to black, okay, because he has got 2 rooks, right? Let us see if there is any way the black can sacrifice a rook and then still win. Is it possible? Yeah, I think Anup is saying is right. See, white will not go into zugzwang. Okay, white will not. No, the rook cannot go to b5. Anup, rook cannot go to b5 because the rook is pinned. Rook to d5, you mean? Yeah, the other rook can come to d5, but then white will simply keep moving the bishop from c3 to b2 to a1. Okay, so white will not move his king. The moment white moves his king, then it is gone. Okay, so white will never move his king. Black will also not move his king, because the moment black moves his king, then the rook will be gone, right? So black also will not move the king. White will also move the king, not move the king. So discovered check with the rook and king. No, there is no discovered check here. King to d5. King to d5, then bishop will kill the rook. Very simply, right? King to d5, white will kill the bishop and kill the rook with the bishop, and now after that it is a draw. It is not a win, because when the bishop is well placed with the thing, you will not be able to force it. Only if the bishop is like in an odd position somewhere and the king has been forced somewhere to the last rank, then you can win with the rook against the bishop. But generally you cannot win as long as you play properly. Rook to d3. How can you play rook to d3? The bishop is pinned. Sorry, the rook itself is pinned. So that rook on d4 cannot move. Rutvij, the rook is pinned. It cannot move. Okay. So yeah. So again, you are seeing an example of a thing where the it doesn't really work, right? I mean, having the 2 rooks also does not help. So then let us go to the third position here, right? Third position here. Look at it. White has got a queen, black has got a rook. Black to play. Anup is claiming that it's a draw. Anybody can counter and play with Anup? Why it is a draw? Why it's a draw? Let us see why it's a draw. Clear board. Let us put a black rook here and black king where? Here, huh? Yeah, here. White queen here and a white king here. Okay, analysis board. Rook will give checks. Rook will keep giving checks. That is right. Okay, white to move I have given. Okay, maybe it is white just moves here. So black starts giving check. Okay. So what does white do? White will go here, again check. If white goes to the F file, then it is a draw because the rook will pin the queen and then force the exchange of the rook and the queen. Right? Yeah, so diagonally. So who is saying it? Anup is saying diagonally move forward. Yeah. So let us see what happens if you diagonally move forward. Okay, let us see diagonally move forward. Rook will still give a check. You still cannot come to F5. You come to H5, again a check. You come here, you give a check. You come to H6. Still the rook gives a check. What do you do? Yeah, now what do you do? G6. Yeah, G6, excellent. Now, what is to be done now? Rook to H6, not A6. Is this A or H? It is H6. Rook to H6. Again, skewering the queen and forcing the king to take the rook. If he takes the rook, then again it is a stalemate. Right? So there is no way for the thing to win here in this position. The black rook will keep giving checks and either trap and pin the queen or skewer the queen in such a way that when the forcing its sacrifice and when it gets captured, that time it's a stalemate. Right? No matter what you do. Right? So there are positions like this. So again, this is just to white to play also, I think, is a draw. White to play is also a draw. But you may be able to do many irritating things because then you'll start checking and this, that, and all. But yeah, I think it is still a draw. It is still a draw because the white king is caught in the bad position. So it will still be a draw. Okay. How the queen will take the rook? Where are you saying, Amudu? When will the queen take the thing? Take the rook? Which position? Right now it can't take it. Then the queen also will get captured, right? Hmm. So king in G6. What are you saying? King G6. King G6. Where rook? How can queen kill the rook? No. I think you are confused. I think king is in G6. That time rook will come to H6. Then where? Then where? No, I think you are confused. King to H6. King to H6. Rook to H6. How can the queen kill it? The queen is not even attacking the rook now. Right? The king will have to move to G6 and then rook H6 again. So there is no way. Okay. All right. So please look at this one. So fine. So these are examples. Okay. So I have given many more examples. These ones I have covered it in the video that I have shared. This is the famous Saavedra study. We had seen it, I think, at the end of your L2 class, right? Towards the end of it in the end games. Very important study. So again, it is time to revise it again and fully understand it, what and why. Okay. But I am going to go to the next page and I'm going to look at some more positions, right, which will give you the idea. So these ones, I think I have covered. The first 4 ones I have covered it in the video, YouTube video. So you watch it in the YouTube video. Okay, we will try to see the next ones. Okay, so again, there are some more examples, especially with respect to knight and bishop. See, knight and bishop is a very, very interesting combination. They are almost equal in value, but that is at the beginning of the game. Once you are in the middle game or in some specific end game, it may become that one of them is more powerful. Especially in the end game, it may happen that both of them are equal, or it may happen that one of them is actually more powerful than the other. So we'll see some examples of that. Okay, so that you just get the idea that it is. So first example is this position here. Okay, black. So here, black to play. See, black has got 2 pawns. White has got 1 pawn. Both of them have got a minor piece. Black has got a bishop. White has got a knight. Okay, almost equal. In most of the time, such a position will get actually drawn. Okay, because one of the pawn will get exchanged, the other pawn. As long as the minor piece can kill the other pawn, then there is no queening. And if there is no queening, then the king against the king and minor piece is a draw, right? So no, it is black to play here, not white to play. So it is black to play. So we have to see how does black play here and win. Okay, so let us put this position h6, sorry, a6, this, and knight is on d5, black pawn on a4. Okay, so king on e2. Let's put it here. Board editor, clear board. There is a black pawn on a6, black king is here, white pawn is on a4, black bishop is on g1, white knight is on d5, black has got a pawn on e4, and white has got a king on e2, right? So this is the position, and it is white. It is who is to play? It is not black is to play. Sorry. Oh, what did I do? Yeah, I think it is okay, right? I think it is black to play. I think it is. Yeah, black to play. Okay, fine. So let us put it is black to play and analysis. And we will put it F so that we can see it the way. Yeah. So it is an instructive position. Okay, so it is a thing where we have to see how does, from a seemingly equal position, how does black actually extract a win. Okay, so he starts by first killing the pawn. Killing the pawn. Now obviously the knight will jump in and kill the black's pawn also. Okay, knight c3, correct. Now where should black play now? Where should black play the king? King to b4, he's saying. King to b4. b5. b5 is even bad, even worse. b3 is good. See, because you want your king to be out there so that you can protect and escort your pawn to the queen, right? No point in going back to b5. b5 may actually become there is no way, first of all, it's a b5 is under check only, but b4 also is not such a great. Come to b3, okay? Now the knight will take this, right? All right. Knight will take this pawn. Now, so now what does black do now? Bishop to d4. Yeah, bishop to d4 is also an interesting move, but more importantly, black wants to play king to c2. Why? Because he does not want the white king to be in any way be able to approach the pawn. Okay, so he wants, and you know that the knight is not that great against a passed pawn. Okay, because it cannot control, like a bishop or a rook, it cannot keep controlling a square while making moves. It cannot lose a move, right? So the knight is not a great piece for stopping a passed pawn. But now black is forcing white to only stop the pawn using the knight. Okay, only thing. So what does white do now? What does white do now? The knight cannot go to c5. King is no way now. King is not possible to. White king is actually shunted out. So knight can only go to d6, right? Knight can go to d6. Now A5. Okay, now knight to B5. Yeah, knight to B5 is the move here. Knight to B5. Okay, because knight cannot go to C4, because knight to C4 pawn will simply advance. Right? So knight will go to B5. Okay. Knight will go to B5. Fine. Not king, not to this one. Okay. So at this point, what do we want? Bishop to C5. Bishop to C5. We are thinking. Bishop to C5 or king to B3? Yeah, king to B3 is better. King to B3 is better. Okay. But king to B3 will also allow the white king to come in. Right? If you move the knight to B4, no, there is no, first of all, knight is not in B4. How can you? So I think I have explained it here. Right? What is the idea here? The bishop is dominating the knight. First exchange the pawn and then shut out the white king. It is very important that you keep shutting out the white king, because otherwise white king will keep, if the white king comes to the defense and starts blocking the pawn, then it will be very difficult. The knight and the white king, if they reach the or start blocking the a pawn, then there is no, then it's a draw. Okay. So let's go back. So a4. Now what can black play? Sorry, what can white play? Sorry, not black. Black has played a4. Now white, what does white play? King to f3, king to f3, knight to a3. If you play knight to a3, you know what is the best move for white, for black? What is the best move for black? Yeah, king to b3 is the good move, right? Yeah, Arav, you can go and think, no problem. I'm not blocking. Anybody you want to go to the washroom, come back, etc. I'm not stopping. Okay, please do that. But we'll continue. So king, now what will happen is that, and if the knight goes here, then king will again come to b2, force the knight away, and once the forcing the knight away, then again the pawn will advance, right? So knight will not really want to come to b3. Now where, if not knight doesn't come to a3, is there any other place? Knight will go to d4. Knight will go to d4, then the bishop will kill it, right? So king will actually, knight will not go anywhere else, and anywhere else it goes, then the pawn will simply rush through. Okay, so king to, not to c1, king to e1. Okay, king to e1. All right, king to e1, and then bishop goes to e3. See, bishops are very powerful because they can lose some moves or they can gain some moves. Okay, by making some again the same similar position. So the knight is not able to move. King to e2, correct? And now bishop will go to c5. See, it did not want to go to c5 directly because it wanted to go there only when the white king is on e2, not when the white king is on e1. Okay, now what is the thing? What can white play now? Now, what has happened now? Yeah, king will play to e1. Okay, but now the black king can move to b3. Okay, All right, what is the idea? Why is he moving? Because now he's going to attack the knight, and knight will not be able to go back to defend the pawn. Okay, king to d2, fine. King to d2, fine. Now king to c4, not bishop to b4, king to c4, threatening the knight. Where can it go? Yeah, it cannot go to d4. It cannot go to b3. If it comes to c3, then the bishop will pin it and win it. Right? See, very clever. So, and attacking the knight. So there is no other way than the knight to go to c7. Right? Once it goes to c7, then, and see, it cannot come back yet very easily. Right? It cannot easily come back now. So now it is easy for white. Now it is easy for white. He will play a3 now. He will play a3. King will come to c2. Right? Bishop to d4. King has to come to protect the pawn, but now the black king also advances. Okay. And now it will become a queen. Next two moves, it will become a queen, and the knight is too far away. Knight will come to b5, but pawn will come here. Check. What to do? King, queen. Right, and then it is finished. Right. So this was a very interesting way of I mean, very instructive way, not interesting. So how black managed to win it. It was almost equal position, but black managed to win it. Right. So what we'll do is, I have some more stuff to what do you call to cover. Maybe what we will do is, we'll take a 2-3 minute break and we will join back. Okay. Some people like to go to washroom, restroom, whatever. So we will consider one or two more positions and then we will stop. So maybe about 15-20 more minutes. So let me on to a3. No. So I hope I hope it is clear, right? I hope there is no more question here. If there is any question, let me know. But here what happened is that knight, yeah, this was not a possibility. So knight c7. After knight c7, it was very clear, right? I hope a3. Now the pawn is just running 2 steps away. So king had to come back. Bishop blocked it, not blocked it, but covered the a8 square, and then white king also came in. So now there is no way. The knight is not in a position to do anything. Right? Yeah, I'm resending the handout again. Okay, I had already sent it, but I'm again resending it. Okay, so that is what. So let me stop the